I'm Celia, welcome to my art channel. In this video I show you how to paint a Banksia flower in oil color. Enjoy! So Banksia is not your typical flower that you'll find in any bunch, but it is a very interesting addition to a bouquet. And it's somewhat cylindrical shaped. It looks like it has a lot of hairy things sticking out. So we have our background of dark brown, and above that we'll put some lighter pink at the top, and we'll gradually darken that. Following the round shape on the sides. Once we have the color down, we'll put on top white paint, lightly touching without blending it in, just using I'm actually using the edge of an old brush that's very stiff bristles, just to put that on and not move around much. A bunch of small projections. The upper ones facing upwards and the side ones facing to the right and to the left. The middle ones have a more straight angle, but nevertheless following some direction. And they are very evenly placed one underneath the next. This is somewhat similar to an ear of corn, that the top kernels do face upwards and the side ones are very evenly placed one beneath the next. So it's the same idea in terms of how it's set on this flower or plant. And at the very edge, we'll put in all around. And some tips are yellowish, so with a softer brush, just to touch the tips of some of these white projections with a little bit of yellow ochre. And that'll do it. So the stem that comes out of this plant is thick, and it has very interesting leaves. They're jagged edged, and they stick out at interesting angles from the stem. Like I said, this is not a typical flower. So we'll mimic that jagged edge with some green paint placed side by side. In different directions. But the side of each leaf following each point one after the next. So it looks like the edge of a knife. And we'll give each a center line. And we'll do that with our dry fan brush, since it gives the fastest coverage. And I'll move on to the Banksia that is in a different angle. This one you can see the side and the top downward facing. So here's the basic shape with some brown paint. And here you can see how the layers of the white hairy things are sort of facing, both sides are facing towards each other. I'm sure there are different varieties of this plant. They come in different colors, and they probably do have different patterns on exactly how the little spikes are sitting. Around the top it's sort of circular, and there's some in the very center, and then it goes around, and down the sides it's layer after layer. And this one has red coming out from in between those. So on the darker areas we'll put some red spikes. Since it's at an angle, some of them you see longer and some you see as shorter, since they're mostly facing straight up. So I did that mostly with the fan brush, and here I'm touching up some of the longer pieces with a small brush. And here at the very top, they're sort of clustered around the middle. And touched with a bit of yellow as well. This one I chose a brighter yellow. And here I'm just going over, bringing the red around the white areas, showing how those red parts are sort of circling around the white areas. I guess this one grew a little more than the first one, so that those hairy things are more protruding, whereas the top one, the white, was more significant.